for help. The Kings are changing on the fly, and they get Jimmy Carson out now. Joe Patterson out, and he throws a hard check at Mike Ramsey. And back to get it for Buffalo is Ed Hospodar. He passes up to center ice to Lindy Ruff. Backhands it into the King zone. Right side, Turgeon shooting. He scores! The #1 draft choice overall in the draft last June. 13 seconds to go in the power play. At the right point, it's held in by Butsy Erickson. He shoots, and it's just tipped wide as Robitaille was in front of the net. Kings with it again. At the blue line, here's Wells. Wells to Erickson. He shoots. He scores! Still not a bad play to make if you're double teamed there and in danger of losing the puck. Now on the draw in the King zone. Look out, Hardy against the boards, and he gets into a scrap over there against the boards with Clark Gillies. Gillies and Hardy, two veterans, getting into a scrap right after the puck was faced off in the King zone. More of a wrestling match now than anything else. Gillies trying to get some right hands loose.
Tell you, in his prime, Bob, Clark Gillies, one of the toughest players in the National Hockey League. Of course, he's lost a little bit skating-wise, but he'll go if you want to go with him. He's a big guy, 6'3", about 210 pounds. Clark Gillies and Mark Hardy to the penalty box. Mark Hardy is getting 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for instigating. That was Gillies, apparently. 5 for fighting. Gillies, 2 for roughing, 2 for instigating, and 5 for fighting. And Mark Hardy getting 2 for roughing and 5 for fighting. So the Kings will get the power play.
Well, it happened right off the draw, and they were up against the boards, and Gillies grabbed Hardy through the right hand, and then another couple of right hands, then one over the helmet of Hardy before Mark could get his right hand tied up, and it was more of a wrestling match from then on in. Robitaille to the red line, shoots it off the skate of Uwe Krupp into the Sabres zone. Now here's Robitaille to the right side of Duchesne. He shoots, safe, rebound, up the middle, shot, score! Robitaille!
But Dave Taylor going to the penalty box. Carson dropped it in the corner, and Taylor kind of elbows and high sticks Housley, and Housley comes off the boards and really takes a vicious swipe at Taylor. I think he knew where Taylor was, and the intent was there, but had he made solid contact, he could have really injured Taylor.
Bobby Carpenter on the draw against Adam Creighton. Creighton wins the draw. Sabres win it. Krupp shoots, deflected, and time runs out. It was deflected by Kudelski, and now Krupp threw a punch, or excuse me, Ruutu threw a punch at Nichols, and everybody pairs off right at the buzzer here. The other players, of course, are not allowed to leave the bench. Kudelski is being grabbed by Lindy Ruff and thrown down to the ice. Christian Ruutu, a second-year player, number 21, threw a punch at Nichols right at the buzzer, and now we've still got Kudelski trying to get away from Ruff. Kings lead at 2-1. Second period just underway. Bob Miller along with Nick Nixon from center ice. Pierre Turgeon fires it into the King zone. Comes around to the top of the slot, then tipped up in the air and score! Turgeon put it over Healy's shoulder. He never saw it. He never even reacted on it. Nichols slides it across to the blue line to Carpenter. He tried to jump down the middle and almost had it. Then he lost it. Then he gets it back. His backhander. He scores! Oh! Behind the play, we've got a fight breaking out here. Joe Patterson and Joe Reekie.
Started when Patterson was hit on the near boards, Bob, and two Sabres were pushing and shoving with Patterson, and Patterson turned around and actually threw his left glove at Reekie to start that altercation.
Patterson has knocked Reekie's helmet off and gets in a few lefts, and the fans react to that. And they're still going at it. And Joe Patterson, now he hammers Reekie down to the ice with a left hand. Nick, this brings up, as you hear the roar of the crowd and everybody on their feet cheering, this brings up something that recently a lot has been said about the so-called violence in hockey. But that's another story. We'll be back with it. 3-2 Kings. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network. Joe Patterson heading to the King locker room. As I was saying, as Joe Reekie's over in the penalty box, there's been a lot said about violence in hockey, and a lot of it because of the Dave Brown situation with Philadelphia, where he cross-checked Thomas Sandstrom of the Rangers high with a stick. That's a different situation, in my opinion, than what we just saw here. A fight is going to break out in hockey, but most people are going to say if you drop the stick and you have a fight, that's one thing. And yes, fans are on their feet, and yes, they're hollering and cheering, but not when you take somebody's stick and you wrap somebody who isn't even looking at you after the whistle, which was the cheap shot that Dave Brown gave Sandstrom, and Sandstrom's done it himself, so you might argue that he deserved it, but you know, it wasn't the same situation that we've seen here. A lot of people who say, oh, there's too much violence, say, yeah, but look at the people, what they do when a fight breaks out. They're on their feet, they're cheering and hollering, but to me that's still different. Two players dropping their sticks and going at it with their fists than somebody hitting someone in the neck or face with a stick.
And I think a big misconception about the game happens here in Southern California because so many people in the media don't know hockey, and they make foolish comments whenever they show clips on sportscasts around Southern California on stick incidents, and some anchor person who has never seen hockey in his or her life makes some idiotic statement about the violence in the sport. If they're going to comment about the game here in Southern California, the anchor people on Channel 4, 2, and 7, I'll give them tickets. They can come out and understand what the game is all about. I'll explain it to them, so when it happens, they'll at least have some knowledge about the game.
Face off to the right of Healy. 7:37 to go in the second period. 9 seconds left to go on the Sabre power play. The Kings have a 3-2 lead. Sabres with it. Foligno pass in front. Score! Great goal. Foligno threw it in front to John Tucker, and while he was being knocked down from behind, Tucker reached out with his stick and tipped it in.
And when you get a puck like that from so close, it's like someone just smacking you in the face. Calle Johansson tried to just flip it up the middle, and he caught Jimmy Fox flush.
At center ice, Taylor and Creighton just tripped Taylor. He kicked the sticks out, or he kicked the legs out from under him, and Taylor slashed at Creighton. Now back behind the King net, here is Duchesne. He tried to pass, but he got knocked down, and the Sabres intercept in front of goal by Creighton. Tom Laidlaw's pass was intercepted right in the slot by Adam Creighton, and he had all day to tee it up. He sends it up on the right side to Jimmy Fox. Here's Fox to the red line. Fox is pass to Carpenter. Sabres zone tipped away. Nichols with it in front. He shoots. He scores!
Sabres doing a good job at picking up the Kings at center ice, forcing the Kings to dump it in for the most part here in the third period. The Kings have had very little offense.
Now on the draw, the puck comes down to center ice and is chased back by Uwe Krupp of Buffalo back to his own blue line. He drives it down the right side into the King zone. Here's Wells back to get it. He kicks it behind the net over to Hardy. Hardy had trouble with it. Here's Foligno behind the King net. Pass in front. Oh, just shot wide by John Tucker. Tucker in front. Score by Andrechuk. Great work by John Tucker. He stayed with the puck. He got it to the right of the King net and gave it right up the middle to Andrechuk, and he scores with 57 seconds to go in the game, and the Sabres lead 5-4. So it's all over, and a tough way for the Kings to lose this one here tonight. The final score in the game, the Sabres 5, the Kings 4. We'll be right back. This is the Los Angeles Kings Hockey Network.